Hello everyone. Welcome back to the science class of class 7th. Today we'll continue our chapter 2, Nutrition in Animals. The topics we will be covering today are digestion in grass-eating animals, digestion in amoeba. So before beginning today's topic, let's first recall what we have learned in a previous class. In a previous class, we have learned about the mode of nutrition in animals, digestion in humans, the different parts of digestive system, and the processes involved in the digestion in human. So let's do the recall by using simple map. Nutrition in animals. So we know the mode of nutrition in animal is heterotrophic, that is they depend on other for their food. Plants are autotrophic, they can prepare their own food. Now all the living organism depends on food for their survival. To get the energy to do various activities in a day, all living organisms need food. In the food, certain components are present, and these components of food are called nutrients. The components of food are protein, carbohydrate, fats, minerals, vitamins, and dietary fiber. So these give the nutrients to our body. Different organisms have different ways of taking food. The way of taking food is different in different organisms. Let's have a look at the examples. Bees and hummingbirds, what do? They suck their food. They suck the nectar from the flower. The infants of humans and other animals, they feed on mother's milk. They suck the milk. And grown humans, they chew their food. Snakes like python, they swallow their food. They swallow the animals they prey upon. Okay. Aquatic animals, they filter the food particles which are floating nearby and they feed upon them. So we have seen the different animals, different organisms have different ways of taking food. Some suck their food, some swallow their food, some chew their food. Okay. So what nutrition is? Nutrition is intake of food and its utilization by the body. So in animals are heterotrophic and animals have heterotrophic mode of nutrition and they are called heterotrophs. Now these heterotrophs are classified into 3 types depending on their food habits. The heterotrophs classified into 3 types are herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores, they feed on plants. They eat plants. Carnivores, they eat animals. And omnivores, they eat both plants and animals. So this is the classification of heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are classified into herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Similarly, heterotrophic nutrition is classified into three types. It is holozoic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition and parasitic nutrition. In the holozoic nutrition, the organism gets the nutrients by ingesting the food and by absorbing the food. They ingest their food, they digest it, they absorb the nutrients from the food, and this is holozoic nutrition. So holozoic nutrition is a part of heterotrophic nutrition. The other two are saprophytic and parasitic. Saprophytic, few organisms, they get the nutrients, they feed on dead and decaying matter. Okay, and parasitics are those which gets their food from the host. So we have learned the digestion in human. The digestion in human is holozoic nutrition. It is a holozoic nutrition. Okay. So let us have a look at how the digestion in human takes place. We have seen the digestion in human, it consists of alimentary canal and few glands. It consists of alimentary canal and few glands are associated in the digestion. Now let us have a look at the different organs of digestive system. The first is buccal cavity or mouth. So what it contains? It contains teeth, tongue and salivary glands. So what is the use? The digestion begins in mouth. The digestion begins once we start chewing our food. Teeth helps in chewing food, tongue helps in mixing food, and salivary gland secretes saliva which helps in conversion of starch into sugar. Next is esophagus. This esophagus is also called as food pipe. It leads from your mouth to the stomach. Now what happens here? Whatever the swallowed food is there, it passes into the food pipe and from here it is pushed downward. It is pushed downward to the next organ, that is stomach. What is stomach? Stomach is a U-shaped thick walled bag. What it does? It receives the food from the food pipe. After this what happens? The inner lining of the stomach, they secrete mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juice. So hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid, it kills the bacteria that enters with the food. Mucus, it protects the inner lining of the stomach. The stomach lining are protected by the mucus. Next is digestive juice. Digestive juices breaks down proteins into simple substances. Okay. So the digestion of protein begins in stomach and digestion of carbohydrates begins from the mouth. After stomach comes the small intestine. Small intestine is highly coiled and it is about 7.5 meter long. Now what happens here? In the small intestine, the digestion is completed. That is, the final step of digestion happens in the small intestine. That is, the carbohydrate, protein, fats all get digested in the small intestine. The liver produces bile juice which helps in the digestion of fats. Pancreas produces pancreatic juice which helps in the digestion of carbohydrates and proteins. Okay, so the digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fats takes place in small intestine. Now here digestion is completed. The end product of digestion are carbohydrate gets converted into sugar like glucose, fats get converted into fatty acid and glycerol, and protein gets converted into amino acid. Once the food is digested, the food is to be absorbed. So the absorption of the food takes place in the small intestine. What is absorption? Absorption is entering of the digestive food into the blood vessels. Once the food is absorbed, the food has to be transported to all the part of the body, to each cell of the body, and this is known as assimilation. The transportation of the absorbed food to each cell of the body is known as assimilation. Then next is whatever the undigested food is there, it goes to the large intestine. So in the large intestine what happens? What is its function? It absorbs the water and the salt from the undigested food. And from there the next is rectum. What happens here? The remaining waste comes here and remains here as semi-solid fecus. It remains as semi-solid fecus, and next part is anus. So what has to be done here? What happens here is egestion. Egestion happens here, means the removal of the undigested waste happens through anus. The fecal matter is removed through the anus, and this is known as egestion. So it will be very easy for you to understand the digestion in human with this kind of map, concept map. So now we are done with the revision of nutrition in animal, digestion in human. Let us have a look at the steps which are involved in the digestion. The steps involved in the process of digestion are ingestion. Ingestion is intake of food. Digestion is breakdown of complex food into simpler substances. Absorption. Absorption is entering of the digested food into the blood vessels. Assimilation. Transportation of the absorbed food into each cell of the body. Egestion. The removal of the undigested food is known as egestion. So far we have learned digestion in human. This recall was very important to understand the difference between the digestion in human and digestion in the other two organisms which we are going to learn today. So today's topic is digestion in grass eating animals. So grass eating animals, we all know what the grass eating animals are. Cow, buffalo, goat, deer. These are some of the grass eating animals. Okay, so you must have seen these animals. They are found chewing all the time even when they are not eating their food. So this question must have come to your mind, why they chew all the time even when they are not eating their food. So today when we learn digestion in grass eating animals, you will get the answer to this question. Now these grass eating animals are called as ruminants. Why they are called as ruminant? Because in their stomach has a separate part which is called as rumen. So these are known as ruminants. What these ruminants do? They first swallow the food and later they chew it. Whenever we see any grass eating animal, cow, buffalo, etc., what they do, we see them always eating very fastly. What exactly they do is they just swallow their food at that time. Later what happens, this food comes back to their mouth and they chew it properly. So the grass eating animals are ruminants. What is rumen? Let's have a look at what rumen is. Rumen is a sac-like structure which is present between the food pipe and the small intestine in the grass-eating animals like cows and buffaloes. We know between the food pipe and the small intestine what is present in human stomach. Similarly, in cows also between the food pipe and small intestine stomach is present, and this stomach is divided into 4 parts. It is having 4 compartments, one of which is rumen. So let's have a look at the different parts of digestive system in grass eating animals. First is mouth, second is esophagus, third is stomach, then small intestine, cecum, large intestine, rectum and anus. Now the difference here is the stomach. The stomach is different from the human. The stomach here is divided into 4 compartments: rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. Okay. The cecum here is mentioned because the cecum, which is present between the small intestine and large intestine, is a sac-like structure and it has certain bacteria, and these bacteria helps in the digestion of cellulose. What cellulose? Cellulose is a carbohydrate which is present in grass. So this cellulose is digested with the help of the bacteria which are present in cecum. So this is the, let's have a look at the picture of the grass eating animals. These animals first chew their, these animals when they eat their food, they first swallow it quickly and through the esophagus this food goes to the rumen. Rumen, as I said, is a part of stomach. In the rumen, the food gets partially digested, and this partially digested food is called cud. C-U-D. It is called cud, and this cud in the form of small lumps, it comes back to the mouth of these animals, and then these animals chew it properly. And when they chew, after chewing properly, the food from the mouth through the esophagus goes to the stomach. I said there are 4 parts of stomach, so the food whatever comes after proper chewing goes to these compartments of the stomach, and from there it goes to the small intestine, and then to the, between the small intestine and large intestine, cecum is present which has certain bacteria which are helpful in digestion of cellulose. Then these bacteria helps in cellulose digestion, and then whatever the unwanted food is there, it goes to the it is removed from the body. Okay, so let's have a look at a video for a better understanding. The animal's stomach is divided into 4: rumen, reticulum, omasum, abomasum. The animal first swallows the food which goes into the rumen. In the rumen, partial digestion of food takes, and this is partially digested food is known as cud. Now in the form of small lumps, it first goes to the reticulum, and through the esophagus it goes back to the mouth. In the mouth, now the animal chews the food properly, mixes with the help of saliva, and then the food comes to the stomach part, omasum. In the omasum, it is further broken down into smaller pieces, and then from there it goes to the next part of the stomach, that is abomasum. And from abomasum it goes to small intestine where absorption of food takes place, and then cecum. In the cecum, the bacteria present help in the digestion of cellulose, and from there the food goes to the large intestine and it is removed from the body through the anus. So in cows also, what is happening? Ingestion, digestion, absorption of food, assimilation of food, and then egestion of food. So like human, the nutrition here is also holozoic. So what is curd? The partially digested food which is present in the rumen is called as curd. The animal first swallows the food which goes to the rumen. In the rumen it is partially digested and it comes back to the mouth and the animal chews it properly. This is known as rumination. The returning of curd to the mouth and then they chew it is known as rumination. So these animals are called ruminants. The process of returning of curd in the form of small lumps to the mouth for further chewing is known as rumination, and the part which helps in the partial digestion of the food is rumen. Okay, so grass eating animals are the only animals which can digest cellulose because in their cecum certain bacteria are there which helps in digestion of cellulose, and these are absent in other organisms and also in humans. These are absent in other organisms and in humans. Okay, so the journey of food is from mouth to rumen, back to the mouth, through esophagus to the stomach, that is to different parts of the stomach. We have learned there are 4 compartments. From the stomach it goes to small intestine, then large intestine. So this is the digestion in grass eating animals. I hope now you know why these animals continuously chew when they are not eating their food. So till now we have learned about digestion in humans and in grass eating animals. Both of these are having a well developed digestive system. They have mouth, but there are certain organisms which do not have mouth or a digestive system. Then how do they acquire the food? How do they digest the food? So today we'll be learning about one such organism, how the digestion in such organisms takes place. One such organism is amoeba. Amoeba. We learned feeding and digestion in amoeba. Amoebas are microscopic organisms. They are made up of one cell. So amoeba are unicellular. They are single-celled organisms and they cannot be seen with naked eyes. They are found in pond water. This amoeba has cell membrane, a nucleus which is round and dense, and they have small vacuoles which are bubble-like in their cytoplasm, and these vacuoles are called food vacuoles. The amoebas does not have a fixed shape. They keep on changing their shape and they are capable of changing its position. Now they don't have feet for their movement. Then how do they move? The amoeba projects out small finger-like shapes for their movement, and these tiny finger-like projections are called as pseudopodia, or we can say false feet. These are used for movement and also for capturing of food. So whenever it wants to intake the food, the pseudopodia, finger-like projection, they comes out of their body and they engulfs the food. Once they engulfs the food gets into the food vacuole. Now in the food vacuole, the food gets digested. The digestive juices are secreted in the food vacuole. The food get digested. The digested food is absorbed and then it is assimilated. The amoeba absorbs the digested food and it uses it for its life processes like for growth, for its multiplication. Like in human and grass-eating animals, amoeba do excrete the unwanted food. Whatever the remaining undigested food is there, it is ejected out of their body. They simply leave the food and move forward. So here also the processes involved are ingestion through with the help of pseudopodia. They capture their food. Next is digestion. In the food vacuoles, digestive juices are secreted and digestion of food takes place. The food is absorbed and it is assimilated to the whole amoeba so that it can be used for growth and multiplication, and then whatever the undigested food is there, it is ejected out of the body, that is egestion takes place. So let us have a look at how digestion in amoeba takes place. The amoeba engulfs its food through pseudopodia. Now the food is in the food vacuole. Digestive juices are secreted. The foods get digested. Once the food is digested, it is absorbed. That is, absorption of food takes place. After absorption, the food has to be assimilated so that the amoeba can use it for growth and its multiplication. And whatever the remaining unwanted food is there, it is removed from its body. Amoeba simply moves forward, leaving behind the undigested food. So ingestion happens here, digestion happens here, absorption happens here, assimilation happens here, and egestion. So it is also having a holozoic nutrition. So today we have learned in this chapter there are three different types of digestion. We have learned the digestion in three different types of organisms. In human, the digestion is different. In grass eating animals, the digestion is different. They can digest cellulose, and amoebas which do not have mouth, digestive system, still they digest their food. So we have learned the digestion in human, in grass eating animals, and in amoeba. So let's summarize what we have learned. We have learned the grass eating animals are called ruminants. Their stomach has a separate part which is called rumen. These ruminants, they first swallow the food and they chew it later. The process in which the partially digested food, that is the curd from the rumen, comes back to the mouth and further chewed is known as rumination. The grass eating animals can digest cellulose because in their cecum certain bacteria are present which are capable of digesting cellulose, and it is not present in other organisms. Next is amoeba. We have learned amoeba does not have mouth and a well developed digestive system. It is a single celled organism. Still, it feeds on food. It feeds and it digests its food. It uses finger-like projections called pseudopodia for its movement. These pseudopodias are used for movement and also for capturing their food. So now we are done with this chapter. I hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you.